Sit up straight, stop slouching. These might be some of the things that someone like your parents might have scolded you for when they looked at your posture. Maybe you straightened your back up to avoid being yelled at. How long did that last? What is a good posture? How important is it to your pain and discomfort? How do you obtain a better posture? Well, stay tuned and we're going to answer these questions for you. The idea of what a good posture is goes back in history a long time. You may have even heard of the term of military postures to signify a soldier standing completely upright as the gold standard as to what an upright posture should look like. This belief has stuck with us over centuries. Proper posture is more complicated than just standing or sitting up straight. And I'm here to tell you that the concept of what we think a good posture is versus bad posture is not actually supported by credible evidence. This doesn't mean, however, that posture isn't important, because it is. It just might not be as important or as much of a cause of your symptoms as what you might think. Good posture is generally depicted as standing or sitting straight or upright, while bad posture is often associated with slumping or slouching. Forward head position is the most common form of fault of the neck and involves forward placement of the head in relation to the shoulders. A slouching low back posture is a common low back fault and signifies usually sitting more on your tailbone, causing flexion of your lumbar spine. All of these types of positions or postures load tissues of our backs and necks differently. This means that you are constantly overusing certain muscles and underutilizing others. When it comes to posture as a sort of pain or discomfort, it is the total force through a particular tissue that we need to focus on rather than the actual position of that tissue. This means that it's just not the particular position, but the time spent in the position or sustained postures that we need to be thinking about. It's not that one position is necessarily good or bad, it's much more about how long you are in the position for. If you hold a small pen out in front of you, for the first 5 minutes the pen will feel light, but after 30 minutes your muscles will get tired and you will start to feel heavy, and your hand might even start shaking, or you might feel discomfort. It is not the activity of holding the pen that is the problem, it's how long you're trying to do it for. This is also supported by the research. In a recent systematic review by Mahmoud et al. In 2019, it was found that forward head posture was not correlated with incidence of neck pain in adolescents and older adults aged 50 or more years. They did find a weak association in adults aged 18 to 50 years, however the quality of the studies were quite poor. In another systematic review by Swain et al. In 2019, there was no link between slumping postures and pain, as well as any other lumbar posture and pain. Our body is an adaptable machine. When we expose it to constant and persistent positions, our body adapts to get good at those positions or postures. For some people, being in a slouch posture may cause pain and discomfort, and for others, slouching may actually feel quite good. The opposite is also true. For some people, being in a stereotypical good posture position might actually cause pain or discomfort. For example, someone with a disc problem will likely experience an increase in pain when sitting slouched over for long periods of time that is relieved with standing. Conversely, for someone with spinal stenosis, standing for prolonged periods of time might aggravate symptoms, and these symptoms improve with sitting in a slouched posture. So before we jump to a conclusion about posture being a source of pain, it is important to rule out some of the other things that might be causing the pain or discomfort, and understand why certain positions may be comfortable or uncomfortable. Good posture is essentially the position you're not currently in. It's not about the position of the posture, but the amount of time in sustained postures that is more of a factor in contributing to pain and discomfort. There are studies that have shown that prolonged sitting, no matter how straight or upright you are, increases the risk of low back pain. This means that what is most important is getting in frequent movement throughout the day and to reduce time in sustained postures. Our bodies like to move and move often. It is important to change position frequently throughout the day. While there's no exact prescription for this, as everyone is a bit different, starting with changing your position every 30 minutes or so is a good idea. You can go out and buy an expensive office chair, but if you're sitting in it all day without changing position or moving often, you can still feel pain or discomfort. This is not to discount things like ergonomics as important, but they're only a piece of the puzzle. In a paper by Conan et al. In 2016, they gave some strategies of how to reduce sedentary postures. The first thing is task substitution. So alternating tasks so that different muscle groups or parts of the body are being used. And you can also alternate between sitting and standing, for example, when completing tasks. So the second strategy is task interruption. Ensure that breaks are being taken, especially when there's not high task variability. Use short breaks to perform stretching or suitable exercise to offload the muscle groups that are being used during sedentary tasks. And use natural stopping points between tasks, during or after phone calls, after checking your email, to change position and stretch. The third strategy is to increase incidental exercise. So for example, using the stairs instead of the elevator at the office, take part in walking meetings, walk or standing during meals or breaks when you're not on camera or video calls, and use active methods for commuting like walking, bus, bike, etc., as opposed to driving. So in summary, the concept of what good posture versus bad posture isn't supported by evidence. Poor posture on its own isn't associated with pain. What is more important is to avoid sustained postures throughout the day. Office ergonomics are only a small part of the puzzle and will not completely fix pain when sitting for prolonged periods of time. And incorporate stretching, exercises, and alternative movements during the workday to take some of the stress and tension off of some of the muscles is also a really good idea. Thanks for checking out our video. If you want to check out some of our other videos, have a look at the description and the links below and check out our YouTube channel. Have a great day.